Well, good afternoon, loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as me. Shout out to all my new loungers, all the members, all the subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Go ahead and check out that join button so that you can see what the perks are for becoming a member. And also make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you guys always know when I'm going live. I am going to be very open on this video in regards to some of my observations in the past couple of months in regards to some of the drama that has gone on between All About the Tea, Nosy Heaux, Down the Rabbit Hole, Tales from the Cult, and Danny Robertson. I'm going to give you my stance on what I feel about each one of these content creators and where I'm going forward from here. So I'm going to start with All About the Tea. As you guys know, or may not know, I have made many videos in regards to the All About the Tea debacle and the drama that was going on with the panel. I had quite a bit of views on that and lots of feedback, and I really appreciate the feedback on it. And, you know, I left those videos up, and I also backed Nosy Heaux on a lot of the things that she said in regards to All About the Tea. Where I started to back off with Nosy Heaux was when she started to dox people, and it seemed like she was putting out additional information that really was not pertinent to the situation or really wasn't happening with the situation. So I took a step back from Nosy Heaux because of that, because like I said, I always feel like it's important to put out information that's accurate as opposed to putting out information just for clicks and views. So I definitely wanted to fall back from her, and I'm glad that I did that because it turned out that what she was doing was over the top, and a lot of people were hurt in regards to that matter. So then when she got deleted, you know, that happened. And next thing you know, even before the deletion, Danny Robertson had kind of popped up in my news feeds, and also Down the Rabbit Hole. She was already popping up in my news feeds. And I actually disagreed with some things with Down the Rabbit Hole regarding Monique Tolbert and regarding Monica from All About the Tea. And I was very vocal about that, and I still am. You know, like I said, I can agree to disagree with people. I don't have to agree with everything you think and I have the right to have my opinion about it. It's unfortunate that some folks think you don't deserve to have your own opinion about things, and everybody has to kind of follow someone else's thought process. That's the issue that I started to take on with Down the Rabbit Hole and with Danny Robertson. I don't have a problem with Down the Rabbit Hole. I think that she's very thorough in her research, quote unquote, in a sense, but she doesn't go far enough. And I think that sometimes she gets caught up in situations that I don't think she intends to get caught up in, but she ends up in it because, these people tend to take her under their wing and, push a certain narrative with her. And she just pushes that narrative regardless of how that's going to affect someone else. And that's what's recently come out about Down the Rabbit Hole when she recently doxed a woman in efforts of trying to dox one of Nosy Heaux's, biggest supporters, which is Tamika. So, and her doxing Tamika, she thought she was doxing the one Tamika when it turned out to be someone else. And that is what, to me, just spells hypocrisy. Like, you can't say, hey, I'm totally against, victimizing people and doxing people. And this is the whole reason for your outrage to Nosy when you are doing the exact same thing. So you need to have a fallback too down the rabbit hole, because at the end of the day, if you're doing the same thing as Nosy, what's the point of you, bashing her for what she's done? You're kind of in the same boat. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on her. As far as Danny Robertson, I actually liked her at first. I thought that everything was funny. I thought that, she had a lot of, just a lot of funny parts to it. And, eventually hers became just over the top too. It started to become bullying. And then, she was coming not only for Nosy, but then anybody that was, trying to refute anything that she was saying. And then also, I got this idea in my mind, and this is only because I was so involved in the All About the Tea situation that I actually got a privacy complaint myself from Monica, which I made a video about. Um, and the information that I was given about Monica, it reminded me of how Danny was approaching the situation. She just kept looking for some type of apology and kept looking, like it was adamant that she demand an apology for Monique Tolbert and demand an apology for this and for that. And I'm like, why is this person so invested in this? Kind of like Monique Tolbert was invested in this situation where, if it's a situation that just doesn't concern you or doesn't involve you, you would just simply move on from it, or you would be entertained by what you're seeing and then just move on. Why is it that Danny felt the need to be so overly involved in this, considering the fact that she's just an avatar, she has a robotic voice? Why would she care about this as much as she does? It can't be for clicks and views, because it's not like she was getting 10, 20,000 views on these videos. I mean, so it's, I don't understand why this was such a big deal to this person, unless this person was either Monique Tolbert or this person was Monica. I mean, that's just how I feel. You can say whatever you want, but that's what it looks like to me. I don't understand why she would be so invested. And even to the point of coming after other content creators like Tales from the Cult over this situation, and then always showing up on everybody's live streams, always showing up in, everybody's chat rooms, anybody that agreed with All About the Tea. And, she's just always there. She doesn't get on the panel, but she's always in the chat room. Yeah, guys, I don't know. So those are my thoughts on them. And then as far as Charisma from Tales from the Cult, I had to sit back and look at her for a little bit, because there were a lot of people coming for her, especially Danny and all her minions were coming for Tales from the Cult. And I just kind of wanted to see myself, without all the smoke and mirrors. And I actually like her. I like her content. I like the angle that she pushes. I like the ideas that she pushes, and I agree with her when it comes to cyberbullying because hey, this situation has really turned into that. It's turned into a disgusting pit of cyberbullying amongst different women going back and forth over one channel, and the panel members that were on that channel have all moved on. Every single one of them, except Marcella, of course. Oh, she's another one I'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, they've all moved on. So I'm not really sure why people are still so invested in this situation. And now that we know that Nosy has been removed from Twitch too, I mean, what else would anybody have to talk about at this point? Now, as far as Marcella is concerned, I've always had my eye sideways on Marcella. I did start to think that she had redeemed herself a little bit few months back when she had went in and she was starting to clean up, quote unquote, her nonsense and her part in all of this. I did kind of I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I always had a hard time with it just because of Marcella's age, because of her quote unquote, where she quote claims to be her social status. I just thought that this was a little bit too low for her to be dealing with, a little bit too low vibrational. And I'm not saying that this is necessarily low vibrational. I just felt like she would be on a higher plateau in regards to some of the mire, surrounding all of this. I didn't understand why Marcella would be smack in the middle of it. And she was smack in the middle of a lot of drama and a lot of nonsense. And now she's trying to like throw through the rocks, and now she's trying to hide her hands and act like she had no parts in any of this. She didn't know anything about this and that. And oh, she is just feels so terrible. Like, just stop it. Miss me with the bullshit, honey, because you know daggone well that you had everything to do with all of this. You egged this woman on. You were egging on the nonsense. You didn't do anything to try to stop it. And you were the oldest person in this situation. Marcella's like 55 years old. How, like, stop it, sweetheart. You're old enough to be somebody's grandmom, somebody's great grandmom. Like, you really need to get your life together, Marcella. And I said this before. I said that she just comes off as somebody who likes to, just throw rocks and hide her hands and act like she doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, that's Marcella for you. And she's proved it over and over again these past few months. So I'm not rocking with Marcella in no way, shape, form, or fashion. As a matter of fact, I unsubscribed from her quite some time ago. And, I'm just not interested in anything that she has to say. But I did listen to her on Down the Rabbit Hole because I wanted to hear, what actually happened. I wanted to hear what actually happened and what her side of the story is now that she's deciding to, quote unquote, come clean about everything. All right, so those are my thoughts on rabbits and hoes and tea and trolls. Okay, we got rabbit, we got the hoe, we got the tea, and we damn sure got these trolls. And it's crazy out here, but y'all be safe out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to all the content creators out here in the tea sector, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.